what are your understandings about, like, you know, are there different times during the month? Because it seems like day 22, if you're like marching towards, am I maybe about to have a healthy pregnancy? It makes sense that you would be storing more fat. It makes sense that you would have different needs. And you mentioned that towards the beginning of the month, we may be able to handle a few less calories and towards the end. But what about the breakdown of like macronutrients? And then are there certain, vitamins, minerals, micronutrients that you find to be really important at the beginning of the cycle versus the middle to the end?
Yes. Yeah. So one of the things that I talk about a lot more in the beginning, and again, a lot of this is based in Chinese medicine. So I am licensed in acupuncture and Chinese medicine, and I actually specialized in it for hormonal issues and fertility. So all of these things can actually help your system just regulate better. And not only that, what's happening in your body, but it can help when you lean into this more. It helps your body be regulated and not be thrown off because you're like, oh, I shouldn't have this, or I can't have that, or, that type of thing, because it is a physiological difference that you're living in a different body at that time, and it would need that. So the earlier part of the cycle, after your period ends, before you ovulate, where estrogen is higher, your digestive system is functioning better. So it is easier to break down raw foods, salads, fibrous foods. You can process carbohydrate better. So, I mean, I'm a big proponent of getting more protein in. So many people do not get enough protein in overall. So if you're getting enough protein in, fantastic. But you can have an equal amount of carbohydrate versus protein at that time, or even more carbohydrate, a little bit more. Like if you get, I'm just throwing this out there, like if you get 120 grams of protein a day, you can handle 120 to 150 grams of carb a day easily. Again, for an active, healthy person, that's fantastic. But when you switch over to the progesterone phase after ovulation, weeks 3 into week 4, your body just doesn't process those sugars the same way. So it's actually more helpful to have, matching, like 100, in this example, like 120 grams of protein, 120 grams of carb, and a little bit less, but actually increase the amount of fat that you're intaking, because your body needs more proteins, more fats at that time, and more minerals.
Mm-hmm.
And it's also important to recognize that our body does not stay hydrated the same during that phase, during weeks 3 and 4. You actually need to upload hydration differently because of progesterone. And this is something Dr. Stacy Sims talks about this too, making sure that you use minerals and everything with your water so it actually uploads that water into your cells. Otherwise, in that progesterone phase, you will not be able to stay hydrated. And I remember, I can't even tell you how many Cosmo magazine articles that they'd be like, oh, are you PMSing and are you bloated? Drink more water if you're bloated when you're PMSing. That's going to make you more bloated because you're not having any mineral to upload the hydration into your cells.